Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back streaming here. A little bit delayed start, but I'm trying to get my schedule worked out. I was hoping to do 12 noon streams. We might have to make it a little bit later going forward. So something like this time, 1:30, 2 o'clock might be more feasible for the streams moving forward during the day. We will play it by ear for now. I'll try to make the streams as regular as I can, but I'm just kind of playing it, as I said, by ear. So, welcome Masturbate, Bob Sacamano, Mr. Coffee. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to be streaming for 2 hours today. I think a little shorter than my usual 2.5 hours, but we'll get it started. Get the thing working. We've got the Micro Panda and Macro Panda. Hello. I'm only a substitute, but I'm going to be here with you guys for a while. That's the Macro Panda, and this is Micro Panda, who looks like a Pokemon. His butt, it's easy to confuse his butt. What? Anyway. Hello, how are you? We finally made it. So, we're going to be playing 7 plus 3, 5 plus 3 through 7 plus 3, casual blitz and rapid chess here with you guys on leechess.org and Twitch. And I'm going to continue to try to do streams 6 days a week. The real Panda is not on strike. He was left with a very important work in Hungary, holding down the fort. He brought in the scrubs. He brought in the scrub pandas. So anyway, Mr. Coffee, Acerbate, Bob, good to see you guys. Let's get it started. I'll accept challenges, particularly from the subscribers first off. We have no challenges yet. You guys didn't expect me to be here, but I'm here. Now, I had to change the time. I have some important responsibilities, some important new responsibilities, and the time wasn't really, something I had factored in. Acerbate is challenging me first. Let's get started with the challenge against Acerbate, 7 plus 3. Good to see Acerbate not too shy to challenge. Got 131 lag. Sorry I could not make this simul stream on Sunday. I had a very important thing. I had to pick my mom up from the hospital. She was released from the hospital, so I'm helping her, and that's why our schedule's a little bit messed up. But hopefully, we're gonna get back to a regularly programmed schedule. How about the Red Sox, Bob? They managed to even the score against the Houston Astros. Very psyched about that. Okay, Acerbate here playing e4. Let's play e4, e5. In the bathroom, I've got my encyclopedia of chess openings. I was just going over this, taking a bath yesterday. I like to read in the bathtub. And I've got my old books here in the United States, so sometimes I just pick a book off the shelf that I haven't really looked at in a very, very long time. And I've got the entire set of old school opening books, like the encyclopedia of chess openings. And the one that I've actually studied the least out of all these old opening books, encyclopedias, is the E4, E5 encyclopedia, which is something I just didn't really use it as much as the other openings. So I thought, let's take a look at that. So I was reviewing that. This is the so-called 3 Knights game, very rare opening. I am not the one with any kind of health problems. Well, I have my health problems I'm always complaining about, but nothing serious yet. I don't know anything about the 3 Knights game. We're just going to play fundamental chess here. Guys, the original scheduled start time was 12 o'clock. Then I said 12:30, then 1, and now 1:30. But I think we'll try to set a time that will be reliable. Something like 2 probably instead of 12 on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay, knight to d5. Let's see, the 2 o'clock stream here, it works out alright. It would work out alright with the European players as well. Okay, you're not developing your pieces here, Acerbate. You're moving the same piece twice. I think we can call that into question, perhaps. But what's the best way to do this? F5 would be a very sharp attempt. Probably not very sound. Knight F6, of course. Knight F6, D6 is also good. Sort of crew now. Some of the other Sladgie trolls have befriended you on Lichess. Oh, that's funny. Nefedov brings up an interesting point. Good to see you, Nefedov. He brings up an interesting point that knight takes e5 is one of the main lines here. Nefedov says that knight takes e5 equalizes. But is that what white wants? That's the question. Does he want to equalize or not? Mr. Coffee just resubscribed. Thank you, Mr. Coffee, for being patient. Percy Hepworth donating 100 bits. Glad to be here, guys. I wanted to be here sooner, but I had a lesson and I had to move everything forward today. Some responsibilities this morning. Okay, now Asterbay played d3, allowing me to play the proverbial knight to g4 now. I guess that's not my only option. It's tempting, though. He's threatening, what, bishop g5 here? Bishop g5 is a sort of threat. It's the walking encyclopedia. Well, I was studying the encyclopedia, I told you guys. The literal encyclopedia is in the bathroom next to the bathtub. It's really hard, though, when you're not used to reading those old books with the encyclopedia-style entries. I haven't studied those type of books in years, and I used to be able to like read them without a board, but now it's just kind of weird to see that old print and, like, you know, we were talking about like 30 years old books practically. I don't know, knight g4. Maybe we don't do that and just play h6. Kind of a wimpy move by me. All serious chess players have to have at least one book in the bathroom. Depends on where you spend most of your time. Alright. Yeah, in Budapest I've got tons of books. I always like to read in the bathtub. Do my greatest thinking in the bathtub. And 3 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep. Okay, h6 stopping bishop g5. This is kind of a pansy move, I would say. But I was going to play knight g4 and then I just thought, nah. d6, b4 bishop there. Alright, let's just go here. Now he's got d4, a tempo down. That's not a problem. I just take on d4. Actually, he could play d4, come to think of it. I still don't think it's a problem. He's playing that move in 2 moves. Great to see you're back home. Thank you. I'll take that with a grain of salt. Waiting for the other shoe to drop here. h3. No, this is my second stream from back home, right? I did do a stream. Already. Bob missed it. Thank you for the subscription, Mr. Coffee. Thanks, Hepworth, for the 100 bits donation. He takes the lead for the week with 100 bits. What am I planning on? Okay, so I was just going to take and play 97, I guess. But white will get to play d4. You missed a few. I had to cancel yesterday's stream because I had to bring my mom home. But she's alright under the circumstances. And we're ready to go here. Bishop b6. So I didn't know when she would get out of the hospital, so I couldn't really be sure which day I would have to cancel the stream. Turns out it was yesterday. Unfortunately, our best and favorite event, my weekly simul. So now a5. I kind of like c4, a5, undermining, and there's no a3. So he has to allow his structure to be broken up. Got our coffee here. No beer for the stream today. It's a day stream. There's no beer during day streams, Bob. So I don't want to hear any comments. Nefedov as well. Nefedov, you're allowed to have a beer though, because you are in the evening time there. It's morning time here. It's afternoon, excuse me. But anyway, I have to drive later, so. You made a pizza today. Rat pizza with, let's see, cockroach filling. 130 is early to be getting tanked. I agree. Especially when you have responsibilities up the wazoo. Alright, so C4A5. I lost to like a 1600 and my blitz rating went to hell. This thing happened yesterday. I was kind of distracted and I played one game and it was a weird position where I was up a piece against some guy in an end game and I decided to trade queens. I was winning, but I'll just do the lazy move. And then it was like a draw, but I decided to try to play for a win and lost. Nils was asking, was the guy a cheater? No, he was just a weird position where I was lazy. You have to play, your A game. If you don't play your A game, you're not, worth your rating. But it's pretty brutal to lose 50 rating points in the blitz rating there. I'm now like 2350 or something. Good to see you guys back here with the micro pond. The micro pond is easier to handle than the macro panda, I'll tell you. Hello. He's the size of a pawn, basically. He's like a pawn panda. Not a panda, but a pawn panda. Okay, Asterbait decided to close it down with b5. That seems a bit strange. But I don't know what I expected him to play. I guess I expected him... There's no weird pawn sacrifices with c5. That wouldn't really work out, I don't think. I guess I expected him to play something like bishop d2. But now we have b5, so... What do we do? My favorite square, the g6 square. I was actually thinking about knight f5. But I decided to go a different direction here. Asterbait subscribed with a tier 3 sub. He subscribed for 9 months in a row. 32-0. 32-0. That's like David Price's postseason pitching record. What? No, 38-0. Not 32-0, 38-0. What's 32-0? Exactly. Queen f6. Yeah, 38. That was a good year. I remember when I was 38. It wasn't that long ago, last year. It's easy to remember. Just 1 year ago. I decided to play queen f6. This is why I decided to put my knight on g6. But objectively, I don't think it's clearly that good. It's basically a cheapo. I mean, there is pressure against f2, but I don't really see how I'm going to get through there. And now Asterbait surprised me with a totally shocking move. But the thing is, I have e4. Wow, this was not on the radar screen. Wow. I'm looking at crazy lines. e4, knight d2. There I have queen takes d4. Okay, so c5. It just seems like an unsound pawn sacrifice. I just take it. If I had taken on d4, it didn't seem as convincing. He can surround it with like bishop b2. Not sure, he just doesn't win the pawn back. Two Shark, what's up? I know you were resubscribed, that's awesome. They say me mow lawn in my front lawn. They say me mow lawn, M-O-W, lawn in my front lawn, and they think I am too white and nerdy. They see me mow the lawn in my front lawn, and they think I'm too white and nerdy. Wait, I want to roll with the gangsters, but they think I'm too white and nerdy. Wait. It's Weird Al. Weird Al Yankovic. That's what my friend Charles Hurtan called Grandmaster Yuri Yakovich. Call him Weird Al. Alright, Right. Yeah. This looks a little dangerous for him. So let's just let him have that. You can have that. Help yourself. Is this a new thing? Weird Al still making like new material? Whoa, he forgot I had this move. I think. So he has some really, really sneaky mate planned. That was like 2006. You see, that's when I was out of it, though. Like, when I moved to Hungary, and poor Asterbate just got confused. When I moved to Hungary, it was like 2004, and I started to lose touch with American culture. So I missed a lot of key things that everybody... All these things like Weird Al, you know, that just is taken for granted. I was in Hungary, man. I don't remember that. I was out of touch. I remember Weird Al from, you know, from the 80s. When he did, like, Madonna parodies and stuff. Michael Jackson parody. I guess he never... Did he ever do a Madonna parody? He definitely did Michael Jackson. We all know that. Alright, Mister, you gotta let me finish this off. Alright, he sold out. Guys, thank you for the challenges. Nefidov, Mr. Coffee, 7 plus 3. You can challenge me to 5 plus 3, 5 plus 4, 5 plus 5, 6 plus 3, 6 plus 4, etc., up until 7 plus 3. I'd also be willing to play one or two chess 960s if it's desired or desirable. I'm too fat. Yeah, just eat it. That was like a surgeon was the Madonna parody. Just eat it, you know. Nefidov. Wait, did you just predict C4? Did you psychologically influence me to play that move? I think he did some kind of subconscious suggestion by typing 1C4 in the... We'll mess with you, man. It's my business to beat you. We're not going to let Nefidov get comfortable here. We got to keep him out of his comfort zone in the opening. Nefidov is now playing the Caro-Kann. He's a known expert in the Caro-Kann. With black. Just kidding. No, he's actually not. Taking on C4. Salo Floor. No, I mean, did Floor ever play this? This could transpose to a Queen's Gambit accepted, actually. Zoli Varga, my former teammate and friend, he played a particular line of Queen's Gambit accepted that was kind of rare. This could transpose. LeeChess.org is it not in the title? Oh no, you're kidding me. You're kidding. After all this time? Oh no. Wow. It's not in the title. I can't believe it. I did that. All right, hopefully now it will kick in. This is the same effectively. Is this the same as if I had done like C takes d5, queen takes d5, like knight c3, queen d8, bishop c4? You always predict. I think you actually didn't predict it. You psychologically pre-programmed me to play it. Sun-dried tomatoes, California Pizza Kitchen. Stockfish says until that night blunder, you were doing all right. Actually, Mr. Asterbate, I thought like when I played knight g6 and queen f6 in that setup, what you should have done at that point was to play g3 so that my knight has no claim on the knight has no claim on the square there. Now maybe Nefedov will regret playing knight c6 too early here. Hopefully. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going to regret making this move. What would Salo Floor do? He would be playing black in the Caro-Kann. There was a game between Botvinnik and Salo Floor where it wasn't this exact position, but it was something similar where Floor actually took on c4 fairly early. Floor was a great positional player with great respect for pawn structure, so he went for the IQP position. Now I have a little issue here. We can play knight c3. I think that's like a known line. Knight c3, knight takes c4, check. Bishop d7, queen takes. Probably about equal, actually. I can't just sack a pawn for nothing, though. I can play check to b5, check to the b5, then come back to e2, and then defend my d5 pawn. This looks like the right idea. I don't really want to trade pieces when I have more space. Alex CL. Hello, Dim. We're streaming at a new time. I originally intended to do the 12 o'clock noon streams from the Eastern time, Eastern Daylight Time, but it's maybe not going to work out. So we're going to have to move it to 2 p.m.-ish. I think it will work better, and I don't think anyone will really care. Except for, of course, like Tushar, who will probably be like at 11 o'clock in the night or something. Nefedov now played e6. Interesting. Bishop g5, pawn takes pawn. Of course I could play d6. I think that gets overextended. Knight c3 is clearly possible. I don't want to be down a pawn, so I have to do something. Taking, bishop takes c6. Again, a second round, huh? Takes, queen a4 check, bishop back, and then like move my queen somewhere. I guess I could just take and castle and let him trade queens on my terms. It's actually not that bad. Take, castles, queen takes. But it's more aggressive to play something sharper. Knight c3, knight takes, pawn takes. Let's say castles, I'm down a pawn. Bishop g5. Don't really want to give up my dark squared bishop. Knight c3, pawn takes pawn, knight takes. Dim, thank you for the donation, 250 bits. Very generous, guys. Bob, look at all this hair. Don't make jokes. It's not. That's very serious, Bob. Don't make falsehoods. Do not make up falsehoods. Not really sure what the best line is here. So I was thinking of turning this into a pawn sack. You know, it doesn't mean I'll never get the pawn back, but like temporarily. Play it like a temporary pawn sack. Nefedov will probably want to get that. Bob, stop. Bob, stop. Don't even start that. Making bad jokes. Death is serious, Bob. Redeems the Mr. Coffee loyalty card. Uh-oh. Bishop e4 checks more exchanges. The Master of Exchange. There was a series of books, I remember. Each time, like, different master had their... You know, Larson was the master of counterattack. Nefedov was like the master of exchange. Good taste, at least, Arsenal fan. So Bob, R.I.P. to Slaggie's health. I need health insurance, guys. I don't have any American health insurance. So if you can donate some bits, because I have like Hungarian health insurance, donate some bits to my health insurance. I have to figure out what I'm going to do. If I'm going to be staying here for an extended period, it probably would help to have health insurance. Alright. Astrobate said, no, I mean, yes, they're joking about my health. There's nothing seriously wrong with me. Just a lot of minor things. Just fly to Hungary if I get sick. Exactly. It's great. I'll have to ask social services. I haven't had American health insurance in like 15 years, so I got some travel insurance when I had to visit, but that's different. Okay, right. Nefedov's score in the last 10 games has been outrageous. Like, look at that. 2 out of 2, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, 3 out of 5. 50%, +1. He's like +1 against me in our last 10 games. What happened there? He went from like a couple draws now and then to like having like 50% against me at one point recently. I was just like wondering what's up with that. Yeah, but Tushar, you're very young, you know. You can get away with it. You can get away with it at your age. I'm an old man now, you know. I can't keep playing that game anymore. Okay. Rook b5, that was the plan. It's just gonna pinch a little. That's what they say in the hospital. This is only gonna pinch a little. Thanks everybody for joining me. We had a little bit of a late start today. I think I'm gonna tentatively make the daytime streams Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. We're gonna try to schedule for 2 p.m. EDT. Just make sure we get to know people who actually have jobs, who can watch the stream. Mr. Coffee clearly watching from work. Luckily he's his own manager. Anyway, back to chess. Now Nefedov is continuing to harass me. Continual harassment from Senor Nefedov. No, I don't want to draw. Not in blitz chess. Why would I not be better here? I mean, your knight's on a5. It just doesn't seem right to me. How greedy is he? I always deny draws in blitz, man. It's just in simul's. I have to take them when I have no time. I take great pleasure in like declining Nefedov's draws. Oh, knight d4-1? Oh my god. Well, he can always play... Yeah, my god, that move... Well, he could have played queen a6, take back. I'm not sure if that holds or not. having hallucinations. Oh my god. That's under attack too. There's no way anybody with a knight on a5 that can't play b6 here should be fully equal. Equal. Equo. Right. Alright. Did I have something better? Like knight d7? Knight is f takes. Darn it. We could like brute force mate him somehow. Down the h file. Bishop d5. Actually, bishop d5 saves him. Now we could have some interesting possibilities. His knight is sort of lost. h4, h5. Possibilities. Move 11, what's up? Why not? I did win the pawn back. I think we're better now. We've got better minor piece. Dysfunctional pawn structure for black. Now this move. He wants to play knight e6. They say it's something about centralization. We can play this till the cows come home. I love this structure. Nice static weakness. Was there a free knight? For real? Interesting. No free knights? Dude, why would I want to draw here? I'm going to torch you all day. Till the cows come home. Protective passed pawn. Dude, you missed that move? He missed a really good move there. Still has that. Does he play? He's up to 1921. At least his rating is decent now. Also, he's getting faster. He seems to be gaining speed, picking up speed here. Uh-oh. Is that a draw? King h8, King h6, King g8, g6, King h8, g7 check. King h8, King f7, of course. King h7, g6 check, yeah. Alright, I'm smart. Well, I managed to take him out finally. King takes g5 was a draw? What? King takes g5 was a draw? Why would it be a draw? I didn't think it mattered. Really? We finally took him out. He's too stubborn, man. He's got to go down a notch. That's what I was getting. He's getting too tough. I thought it was... Wow, I thought it was a win. That is amazingly strong. Welcome, Daily Dreams. Welcome, everybody. Especially our subscribers. I'm going to take the subscriber challenges first. I might cut the stream a little shorter. 2 hours, 2 hours, 2:15. This stream. We're going to try to do our normal 2.5 hour streams in general. But for today, we had to kind of getting used to the schedule here. I have a lot going on. Just a couple days, and hopefully we'll get to a regular routine. Morales, what's up? Thank you guys for being patient with me while I got resituated here. I'm playing this weird system on Mr. Coffee he's not familiar with. The order of challenges is subscribers first, and then whoever's left. Schedule is generally hard to find. You know what? I don't like the fact that Twitch did away with that, like, messages. Like, what was it called? Twitch used to have, well, the schedule's not hard to find. You can find it in the Twitch underneath, you know. It is in the boxes underneath. Mr. Coffee is now playing the Fort Knox variation, but I haven't even played D4 yet. What's up with that? Is there any way to take advantage of this, not having played D4 yet? To play tournament games instead. Wait, I remember now, Sladgie. E5 instead of King F5 was an easy draw. He did have an option. Anyway, it should be a draw, but because the pawns weren't aligned straight on, because my G pawn was passed, it wasn't like he had an F pawn. He had an E pawn against the two pawns. It's a little trickier to defend. If he has an E pawn, excuse me, if he has an F pawn against F and G, it's a very easy draw. If he has an F or a G pawn against F and G, it's a very easy draw. But because he has an E pawn against F and G, I have a pass pawn, and it's actually like a little bit tricky for the defending side, you know, so that's the... Let's try this. It doesn't look right. I'm not developing any pieces. Soltigo, I have not seen yet today. I have not seen him here on Lee Chess. You had to play tournament games on Lee Chess instead. But I don't know, this move doesn't feel right. I don't know what to do. To throw Mr. Coffee off his normal plan with Bishop C6. JCS, what's up? Originally, Soltigo, I didn't talk to him about today. I only knew about Sunday. He was probably going to be able to do the Sunday, which I couldn't do because I had to pick my mom up from the hospital. So Mr. Coffee has succumbed to the magnetic knight variation. Magnetic, like a demonstration board. They're just stuck there. It's like a pocket chess set. Succumbed. My mom has Alzheimer's disease, so it's not something like that ever will go away. It's going to be an ongoing battle. But she's all right. She's all right now. Knight to G5, and we're on F7. And we're going to take that pawn out. Okay, knight to G5, no defense. Poor Mr. Coffee got confused there. In this unusual position, what should he have done? I think you could call my bluff and play Bishop C6, allowing like knight takes C6, knight takes C6, probably. There may be other ways to defend, like, I don't know, Bishop D6 seems a little strange. Maybe just knight C6 the most natural, allowing knight takes D7, queen takes D7, with a good control of the center for black. It's kind of a weird position. What I've read, it can really help, or even stop it altogether. What? Reading articles on keto diet. Okay. Yeah, any suggestions are helpful. Knight to G5. Mr. Coffee's in trouble. Thanks, guys, for being here. I'm sorry I had to adjust the time. I'm going to be back. So you heard about that as well, Arsenal fan. There must be something true in it if Arsenal knows. Because he's always reliable. Knight on G takes F7. Winning the pawn is not the end of the world. He has Rook G8 and he should continue. Don't give up because you lost the pawn in a fast time control game. My knights are kind of clumsy here. But it will be hard for black to coordinate with a knight at F7. I mean, it's just a pawn, quote unquote, just a pawn. But his coordination is messed up. He can't castle king side. He can't castle queen side. He's going to have to remove the knight with like knight C6 or something. The knight. So, knight on G takes F7. Arsenal is a bright character. Okay, Rook G8. What are we going to do? Develop or develop? My knight is entombed on f7. Now you can trap it forever with h6. I guess I can always just take the bishop on d7 and then resuscitate my other knight. My main concern is development. A little tricky here. Funny, like, he doesn't really have any threats. I can just do, like, c3. And then if he trades the one knight, I take it. He can play c5, try to break out. But he's down a pawn for nothing here. c3 just secures my position. I'll probably castle kingside. And looking for simple. He could take on e5, take on e5, castles queenside. That's probably what he's going to do. With a difficult but not completely hopeless position for black, basically. Reminding you of Eminem. We've got the perfect beard going on. It's just the right length that it's like fun to kind of do this. A hedgehog. It gives me something to do while I'm thinking. Knight takes e5. Yeah, okay, Mr. Coffee, let's move it. Move it. Castles queenside. I don't really know what else you would possibly consider here. Don't waste time. Maybe c5 he's thinking about? Just striking the center immediately. Even older than that, too sharp. Even older than that. But it wouldn't be polite of me to say. Over 80. Because I was a very late child. Okay, castles queenside. Bada bing. Ready? He's ready for counterplay. I've got to get myself set. c5's on the way. I'm a little bit worried about that, actually. Bishop e3. I wanted to castle kingside. I'm a little concerned about c5, but I mean, that's his king there, too. Grow the beard longer. Yeah, I've done that a little bit. Never been very good with a really serious beard, though. That never worked for me, even like recently in my old age. Change of life, baby. I thought I was like adopted when I was a kid. My parents were like 40 plus, but I don't think so. You know, like you're an only child, your parents have you when you're over 40. You have the paranoid delusions that you're adopted. Secretly adopted. I don't know, it just doesn't look right for me, the full beard. I know it's a huge trend. Everybody in like sports and entertainment has beards. But it never really looked good for me. Just this sort of patchy, yeah, Keanu look like beard. Exactly. That looks good. Mr. Coffee lost his mind. He saw mirage in the desert. We've all been there. Alright. Mr. Coffee, has this position ever been played? I wonder where, like, I have knights on e5 and e4 right away. I'm curious. Does this actually been played? I hope it was someone good. No. Just Nepomniachtchi, but he was like a baby when he played that. So, the engine is like, yeah, you just challenge that with knight c6. Knight takes d7. But my stockfish is saying this gives white something. Knight takes d7, queen takes d7. g3, going for the white square bishop. Actually, Nepomniachtchi always has been kind of a he's had a fondness for the King's Indian attack type position. It makes some sense to play like G3. Perhaps G3. F5 going for it. That could possibly have occurred. Knight C3. It's like a King's Indian. We have the bishop pair, but black has strong pawn in the center. And some mobilization. Well, I mean, he was like a baby by age, you know, like he's probably very young. In 2006, what was Nepomniachtchi? Like under 20? I mean, he's what, like 30 now? He must have been like 18 years old in 2006. Okay, I'm guessing, I don't know. So Bobby Sakamano's up next. We're gonna take subscribers. Yeah, the handlebar mustache. Gotta get something original going. Alright. So Bob. What's up, Bob? 2006 Netbo. Yeah, that's... What was he? 17, 18 years old? 20? Alright, is he that old already? The time goes past so fast. What would Bronstein do? The other book I have in the bathroom was 200 Open Games. So I get in a really classical mood. When I come home and I see all my old chess library here in the United States, I have hundreds of books. I start getting like nostalgic about all these classical openings I never really studied enough. 16, said Tushar. That's how old Nepomniachtchi was when he played that variation. Mr. Bronstein claiming... We had a game the other day against Tushar. There was a Roy Lopez. We had the Roy Lopez... delayed the Dirtle, the doubly delayed exchange variation, influenced by looking at the Bronstein book. Highly recommended, guys. The old school 200 Open Games, like essential reading for everyone who plays classical openings. Bronstein also, you know, gives a lot of games on Bishop C4, which is a book I never like studied all the games in there, because I didn't learn chess in a kind of classical way. Wednesday stream. Asterbay, what's up? Wednesday stream, weird opening Wednesday. As of right now, all the streams should be on schedule. Just the question was the time. I think on Thursdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, we're going to try for 5 p.m. I might even make it earlier, but we're going to try for 5 p.m. And we're going to try to move these weekday streams a little bit later rather. You know, like today I started at 1:30. I think 2 would probably be optimal. EDT, Eastern Daylight Time. I like how they call it daylight time. I woke up at like 6:30 this morning and it was dark outside. All right, D6. Want to see my Evans Gambit from weekend tournament. How did it go? I'm sorry, Asterbate, Arsenal fan, if you said I wasn't really fully aware of what you said. You're talking to JCS, okay. But tomorrow we'll do a viewer stream, a viewer tournament. Tomorrow 5 p.m. EDT. It's going to be Rapid Chess 7+2 Micro Ponda will be here with me. Hello. How are you? So Micro Ponda filling in for the regular Ponda. Can you make it 1:30 p.m.? Yeah. I can't challenge... oh, you're talking about these streams? These streams, Tushar? Like this? Starting at 1:30 like I did today? Well, I mean, tomorrow... I have to have like one of them in the early part of the afternoon and one of them in the evening. So that's the way I do it. But we can negotiate maybe times. Nothing's set in stone yet. So like today's at 1:30. We could try to stick with 1:30. I mean, if people are okay with that. Maybe I was better off playing Bishop B3 first instead of Knight on BD2. It can become a kind of Roy Lopez. I was talking about this with Morwa earlier. 5 p.m. is really late for anyone not in the United States. Yeah. I could try to do like 1:30 and 4. Maybe. 1:30 and 4 maybe would be optimal. Try to do that, perhaps. Or 1:30 and 4:30. Maybe we could make it 30s. Then it sounds almost like it's connected somehow. Try to get a 1:30, 4:30. 4:30 is like 10:30 in Europe. It's gonna be those guys are late. Those streams are late for people in Europe. Chess with Chris, anyway. But we could try to do 1:30 and 4. But I kind of want the later ones for the U.S. people who have jobs. You know, it's tricky. 1:30 and 5. I don't know. You can't make everybody happy. You know, that's the problem. Move 11. You're third in the list. Chess with Chris. Actually, Chess with Chris is not a subscriber, so Move 11 is second, and then Chess with Chris. Alright, Bishop G4. You're not going to make the late afternoon streams anyway, so you're negotiating for 1:30 p.m. We'll do the best we can here. Bishop G4 drops a piece. Bobbert forgot about that. He forgot about B4. So we're going to have 2 different times for the streams. That's sure. The question is the exact time. I will notify in my team, my Sparkle Horse team on Lichess. I'll post it. I'll post it on the notifications under the stream on Twitch. Now knight f3 against Tushar. I just played e4 a couple games. I did my reactionary knight f3 now. Alright, so c4. So move 11 you're asking. You're actually next after Tushar. And then Chess with Chris, Ellery, and Ignis. Actually, if Ellery doesn't have enough games, I don't play people who have like new accounts. They just barely, they don't really qualify. They just have bullet, so I'm probably not going to play that challenge. I'll play Ignis. If people have more than 100 games, it really has to be in like regular, not bullet chess for it to count. Tushar playing a strange move here, d5. We're doing rapid tomorrow, move 11. Let's set a time for sure, okay? So let's make it 5 for tomorrow, 5 p.m. Well, let's make it 4:30. Actually, I will officially write it in the Sparkle Horse stream. Let's make it 4:30 to give the European guys a little bit better hope. Let's make it 4:30 EDT for the Tuesday viewer tournament tomorrow night. No, I don't want him to play e5, right? What's this? This is weird. He just sacked the pawn. So I don't care if he plays e5. We're playing a Mora reversed. Alex said we played once before. I'm in Massachusetts, eastern Massachusetts. So I'm as far east as you can go. Almost. Almost literally as far east as you can go in the United States. Can't get much further east. Knight c3. I remember the game vaguely, Alex. Reversed Mora. So let's go for 4:30. We'll work it out. And we'll get a set schedule going. 1:30 and 4:30. Bishop c5. I like to mix it up, have different times to help, different people to be able to make the stream at different streams. So now a3 will transpose to the classic variation I play with black. I'm in North America for now at this point because of personal things. I'm going to be here indefinitely. Not permanently, but indefinitely. Okay. A5 now. we want to go bishop g4. That's 5 arsenal. I meant g5. Indefinitely for now. Originally, I was only supposed to come for like 2 months, a little less, but I have to help. Got a lot of issues to deal with, so it was originally, yeah, but my mom is in need of assistance, so this was not the plan. You got to take care of your family, guys. Bishop g4. What about your family? I'm away from them now. Yeah, it's not easy, man. My family is separated. Separated family, but I can't take my kids out of school. You know, they're in school in Hungary. Stock Atrophy Komodo said, I'll have to renew my Twitch Prime sub for ye on my other account soon then. Thank you. Life has all kinds of surprises, good and bad, in store for us. Tushar now retreating back with bishop e7. Kind of a surprising move there. Yeah. Not everything, you know, can be seen in a sexual way, Bob. Bob has a one-track mind. One-track mind, my friend. A wild animal. There's more important things than that, too. I'm like a monk. Alright. Castles, and we're up a pawn. We're a tempo up on the normal, plus the normal Mora, plus he's gone back with bishop e7, unprovoked. Well, I'm so used to playing these Mora gambits like with the normal colors where I'm black, but here I've got the extra, literally extra move or two, you know, maybe 2 tempi up. But Tushar, you know, not really a good idea what he did in the opening. I don't know what he was doing. He played d5 on move 2. This is a strange move. I mean, you can do that with the knight on c3, but you can't. Then it's a Grunfeld. But you can't do it with the knight on f3. This is just like a martial defense. It's not good for black. Probably the lesser of the evils there, you know, in the opening, by the way, Tushar, would be to play like pawn takes, knight takes, d4, and then bishop f5, which is a game that I had with Dr. Danny Kopek. Probably black's best chance, although Mamajarov has played like cd5, knight d5, d4, g6, like a neo Grunfeld type of thing. It's not really reliable. Okay, castles, and we're waiting for a move here. Chess with Quitch. It's a combination of Chris and Twitch. Chess with Chris has subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you for doing that, Chess with Chris. And he'll now get to play. He'll get to play next. Move 11 after that. Thank you guys all for subscribing. Now what are we up to here? Bishop e6, another retreating move. Yeah, I'm in a pretty weird situation. I'm in a limbo state with my family separated, and it's going to be kind of weird. I don't know what we're going to do. Got to unite the family somehow, but it's very, very complicated. Okay, bishop e6. One step at a time. That's the plan. Maybe queen a4? As strange as that seems, it like traps my own queen or something. I guess I don't mind it, because I can play queen b5. But maybe I just walked into like knight d7. Could also play like rook b8 here, trying to play some sort of tricks with b5. Let's see how that would work though. Knight b5 looks natural. Meh. We're not really that well developed. I think we're just happy to be up a pawn, basically. He would prefer not to trade pieces, I think, philosophically speaking here. So in other words, like rook f(c1) or rook a(c1), knight b6. Try to keep it complicated, then queen b5. Something like that. Knight b6 looks, knight b5 look natural. I don't agree, Arsenal fan, because we have a lot of pieces that aren't developed yet. And I think I have this constant discussion with a lot of people, but you gotta really not get carried away with the same piece twice kind of move. We have pieces that are not even in the game yet. I mean, these rooks are totally not in the game yet. Plus, the other thing is I'm up a pawn. I don't have to do anything but like trade the pieces and win a pawn up endgame, you know. And there's a definite logic to that, you know. I just think that you need to think about the game differently when you're up material. If you have any kind of reasonable technique, let's say. Now, rook d1 is a little passive. Knight e4. Talking about exchanging pieces. We're doing exactly what I said I shouldn't do, probably. Knight e4. Knight b6, queen b5. Rook a6. Knight takes e5. That's what I'm looking at. And unnecessary complications, which is something I probably should not play for here. This is a very, very double-edged thing to do. Much safer to play like knight takes d5. Epitheto's subscribed. Everybody's here. This is great. So many of our regulars. Gives you concrete advantage. I don't see why not. I mean, does it really give me a concrete advantage, though? I mean, all I see is a knight sitting on a square on b5. Let's just take a look. I played queen a4 here. But at what point are we talking, like now? Here? To go knight b5? I mean, I just see a knight sitting on a square. I don't feel like it's attacking anything. Why does it give me a concrete advantage? I mean, it takes my knight away from controlling the center. It's not attacking anything. I'm just not impressed. So bishop d7 with threats against the old queen. Yeah, what to do? We got to get out of there. I was actually thinking of sacking the exchange, so it looks like Tushar was perhaps considering that possibility. I'm just keeping him busy here. Knight b5 instead of queen a4. But you have to recall. You have to be very thoughtful, man. I mean, if you play knight b5, you're taking your knight away from controlling the center. If I do knight b5 followed by d4, he's going to be able to play e4. And then it's going to evolve into a kind of French defense. And I'm not sure, you know, how good or bad it is, to be perfectly frank. It's just a game. Knight b5 now. Sorry, c5. Double threat. Double bubble. I don't think he could do this, but he can, apparently. And I have to go back where I came from. Oh well. We weakened his structure just a little bit. You guys see it? You see a backward pawn, and you want to push it forward so it's not backward. It's not a bad idea. And d4 also, truthfully, it's like makes sense. I have a white squared bishop, so that pretty much is logical as well. What does knight g3 do, actually? This move is probably not even very good. Queen b5. It's getting a little bit weird around here. feel like I'm being a little too provocative with my queen. And knight g3 just puts my knight on a bad square. I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do it. He's doing a good job of hanging on here. Knight a7. Rook takes rook. Yep. Yep. Now queen a6. Is my queen getting trapped? I mean, how could my queen get trapped here? I don't want to know. I'm sure there's a way. I don't want to put my queen on a6. Just too weird. Now he's allowing this. Knight takes e5, but he's got discovery, so there's no end of problems with this guy. Takes rook. Just will not leave me alone. Definitely not really what I wanted to do here. Well, he took with a knight. I definitely didn't expect that. I thought he would take it with the rook and take it over the c-file. Now trading pieces seems wrong for black. Tushar a little too thinking about the time, it feels like. He's made some second best moves now. I thought he had better. Still has some compensation, true. He has compensation. Not a full pawn worth of compensation, but some. Half a pawn, based on pressure. Standard Mora Gambit compensation, you know. Pressure on the backward pawn, i.e. why Arsenal fan wanted to play d4. Maybe last move was the moment, you know. Maybe now Arsenal fan actually was right. Now I should probably play it. This is the moment to play it. Finally. Should have no major issues here. I had other moves, like bishop d3 was interesting. I'm just looking for simplification now. Oh, it's 6 plus 5. Yeah. It's a very good heavy piece ending for me. Excellent winning chances. Pawn on both sides. Pawns on both sides. Better structure. Yeah. You probably can avoid an exchange of... He probably can avoid an exchange of queens, for example. But I don't even know if I want to trade queens. But this seems like a really kind of suicidal move. His king is just way too open. Everything's hanging. Yeah. He did pretty well, but then it kind of fell apart. I think he could have taken the c-file with rook c8. That seemed like... So chess with Chris, then move 11, and we'll go from there. It's now 2:50, so I'll be streaming till at least 3:30. I'm gonna cut it a little bit today, and then be back tomorrow night. Cut it a little bit shorter than usual. Thanks, Chess, for Thanks, Chess with Chris, for subscribing. Okay, we played just once before. I forgot that game. Now I remember. It was kind of a tense. Nimzo. What did you play against me? It was like a similar to my tournament game against Shinkovich that I talked about 2 weeks ago. I play b6 a lot here. This is probably what I did against you last time. You're never playing Nimzo again? Why is that, Arsenal fan? So I've been playing this a lot, this b6. It's kind of a lesser known variation. I played a lot of other stuff. I played c5 a lot. In the past, it's a difficult but main line. I played knight c6, which is kind of a sideline. I've also castled maybe once. That's an interesting line. I think castles is a good line. And move 11 likes d5. So bg5. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much what might have happened last time we played. But bishop g5 is not critical. The critical move is e4. And there are other stuff. There are other things that you can do. A3. A3 to me doesn't seem like a big deal. But either is bishop g5 probably. What do you think of the French defense? I think it's a great opening. But I also think that it takes a lot of time to master the French defense. I think the French defense is not easy to play. It takes a lot of experience. It's a very positional opening. You know, there's some variations that are kind of sharp, like the winnower, the sharpest lines of the winnower. But in general, the French defense is mostly a strategic opening and oftentimes leading to very closed positions. So this may be the same game we played last time with Chess with Chris. I saw there's some interesting weird lines here. Bishop e5 is rarely played. But mostly white plays knight d2 or e3 here. And we had a game with somebody who played a3. Maybe it was Chess with Chris. I don't know. Somebody played a3 against me. Not really a useful move. Knight d2 was played against me by Braden Bourneval, and I think I drew that game. Oh, actually, that was also played by Shinkovich. I mean, e3 is natural. I can't play d6 because of queen a4 check, guys. Don't forget about that trap. Although, one of my teammates had something like that, actually. Maybe this exact position. d6, queen a4 check, knight c6. There's a little kid on my team last year. He might have had that game. d6, queen a4 check, knight c6. d5. But I can play knight takes c3 there, so it gets really demented. Or you actually can play d6 here. Huh. I guess you actually can. Last time I played this position, I just assumed I lose a piece if I go there. But actually, queen a4 check, knight c6. Now I can't remember if my teammate was white or black in that game. Maybe that's not bad for me. It's a little weird. I would normally avoid doing this. This looks familiar. You met Attila Turzo. Turzu Attila. Turzo Attila. Yeah, he's seems to be getting pretty active here. And now we're just gonna transpose to the usual. Okay, now f5, queen a4, check knight c6. So we don't need to do anything. This is just a standard main line. Beat my friend Grandmaster Jose Garcia Gonzalez. We were talking on Facebook this week. I hadn't talked to him in a long time. I remember I beat him in a game in Spain in this position. You know, it's not absolutely necessary for white to play the move queen c2 in these types of positions, because the c3 pawn is usually like poisonous. So some people might argue that queen c2 is like an unnecessary sort of move. So it's far better than, say, something like a3 for white. Did I ever visit Romania? Yeah, of course. I have very strong connection to Romania. Many times, but only one region really, in Transylvania. I've been to Timișoara. I've been to Transylvania. I've been to, really, that's it, Bucharest once. I didn't drop a piece because of knight c6. You know, that's the thing. I was just talking about that, Arsenal fan. I'm very aware of that tactic. So white castled kingside here. I had a game like this many, like over 20 years ago against a guy who was like a 2200 player. Larry Schmidt, I remember. My wife was born in Romania. Knight d2, knight takes c3, or knight takes d2. This is knight takes d2 and h5 and h4. Am I supposed to do that? It's one possibility. Playing this kind of Nimzovich style. So this was our other game of chess with Chris. It was something similar to this. h5. Let's say. You live in Sibiu. Okay. Wow. I don't know if I've been there. Probably. What's the biggest city in that region or town? Where's Ponda when you need him? We have the replacements. Replacement Pondas. Hello. Hello. Yeah. I like Romania. Romania's cool. h5. Feels like white should be able to do something here to break free. My main concern is that f4 won't be like a good move. If f4, I can play h4 and then g4 and then clamp down on the d5 of the e4 square. That was my big idea here. I'm trying to clamp down. Turgomuris. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've been there. I don't think I've actually been there. But it's a very major region in Transylvania, I know. Beautiful country. If you guys ever get a chance to visit to modern day Transylvania, strongly recommend it. Amazing, beautiful country. I mean, I live in Hungary, and it's just not, you know, Hungary is very limited in terms of, like, you know, environment. I mean, Romania has amazing places and much broader variety of wilderness and mountains and beautiful country. How far from the castle? Well, I've been to one of the castles, one of the famous castles. I can't remember, in Brasov, near Brasov. But it's a great place to visit. I got a lot of friends who are Romanian chess players. Okay, d5. Now what? We got to keep it clamped down. Knight c5. You're going to keep him clamped down. We got to keep the e4 under control. That's very important here. Now this move might actually get me in trouble if I put my queen on f6. Probably don't want to do that, so let's try a different way. I also have g3. I mean, we might be like checkmating in brute force style in some lines. Ouch. Not quite, but very, very close to mate here. Wow. Actually, how does he defend that? If g3... Wow, how does he defend this? He's going to have to get inventive. That's called carving open a long diagonal. I mean, that is a scary diagonal. It gets complicated after you take on c6 with the knight. But after d takes c6, Arsenal is on that line. But I mean, I was like taking on c3. You know, that was the problem. I was taking on c3 and like taking on c3 with check. I have h3 here as well. Whoa, dude. That's like almost devastating. What does he do? Even h3. This should be good enough. Now rook g8. I guess I don't remember which castle it was. Maybe Rosnov Castle. It was some years ago. Now I can't recall the name of it. But it was like near to Brashov. Okay, knight takes d3, game over. Alright, move 11 is up next. How in the world do I avoid that kingside pawn storm? Don't play that variation. I think 92. 92 instead of e3 is a little bit better. But it's still not easy. I would not play bishop g5 in that line if I were you. Alright, let's try to take on move 11. He's getting increasingly theoretical. O'Brien Castle, I've definitely been there. Alright. Knight f3. Right, we're going to try to play the Richter Rouser with black. You got to come up with surprise for move 11. Surprise! We need a surprise, and I run out of surprises, you know? That's the problem when you have surprises. Rostov's near Brashov. I've seen the Brown and Rosnov castles, probably. I was right, according to Arsenal fan. Knight c6. The last time I played that position Arsenal, I was afraid to allow that queen a4 check, but I realized today that it's actually okay. So I want to confuse move 11. We're going to mess him up with the Nisipianu variation. Just for our Romanian friend. Oh, move 11 just insta-move. Wow, it didn't phase him at all. He was totally unfazed by the Dieter Liviu Nisipianu variation. Absolutely unfazed. Now, I don't remember. Bishop g7 or bishop e7. What am I supposed to do here? Bishop g7, knight b5. I'm going to have to be sacking a pawn there. Castles. Knight takes d6. Something about that doesn't seem right. What's up with this? We don't have time for a6, right? I only played this in one special game. I prepared a one-game game, and that was like over a year ago. The Nisipianu. Nisipianu. Bishop c4. You know that German grandmaster? The guy who plays board 1 for Germany with the long hair. One of the few players who really like tried to make this work. But I can't remember now. Is it bishop e7 or bishop g7? Bishop g7, knight b5, castles. Knight takes d6. Anyway, let's just go with the flow. Move 11 is just rattling off the moves here. He's well prepared. So now the problem is queen b6 allows knight d5. Doesn't seem right. So I guess I could just sack a pawn. I'm speaking very American style. Sack a pawn. Sack a pawn. It sounds like Native American. Seriously. Okay, I guess I'm not avoiding the trade of queens. 11 just rattling moves. He's totally not. Are my parents in Hungary? No. I have no parental relationship to Hungary. It's a relation only through later. I might end up taking my mom to Hungary if there's no other options. Reeves? What is that, Reeves? Antonio. Christopher Reeves? Actually, I have family by that name. So f5, breaking out with the dark squared bishop. I mean, that's okay. Now we're looking at something that looks a little familiar. I think there was actually a game in this position, possibly, with the Kashashvili against Shahadi, Greg, if I remember correctly. Queen g5 check f4 white has, I think. So queen b6, but then knight d5, then I take on f2. And then he can hit me again. What's up with that? Queen b6, knight d5. What's the deal with that? I've got to be very careful because there are some traps here. Oh, Keanu. Okay. Yeah, Hungarian is Romanian is a Latin language. It's like no harder to learn than like Spanish or Italian, but Hungarian is totally unrelated. Hard to learn for that reason. There's nothing. It's like nothing else. I can't remember what I'm supposed to do now. Queen b6, knight d5, and what's that about? I don't know. Just doesn't feel right. Only a long time ago I had one game in this variation. Why can't he just play knight d5, queen takes, and then keep attacking me like a maniac? This is probably a big mistake. Maybe queen a5 would have been better. Why didn't I play queen a5, actually? It makes a lot more sense. Then he has like rook d5, some weird move like that. Then there I have bishop e6 though, so I think queen a5 would be my second guessing myself, probably the right move here. I could also play queen g5 check, f4, queen takes g2, but it looks like my queen is totally out of play. Your entire life, that's all. Hungarian is similar to Finnish, said Spectacular Camel. What's up? I think like some very technical, minor grammatical things are the only relation to Finnish, really. Like a couple of words and some grammatical structure. They call it Hungarian Fingro Fingro Hungarian or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's the classification. There is a classification, Spectacular Camel, because they say that some some tribe of marauders, basically somewhere 1,000 years ago, or even longer, whenever. Tribe of Huns separated and went different ways. Like some of them went to Finland and some of them created the modern day Hungarian language. I don't know. I'm not enough of a historian to really understand it, so. That's the only language that has any distant relationship to Hungarian, Finnish. There's a couple roots and maybe words that are similar. Okay, move 11 plays too well. Knight f6 check now. Seems like a lazy sort of move, but he's going to have some threats. I could play king h8. I think I had a game like this, seriously. King h8, how does he break me down? What's the next move? I was far more concerned about maybe kicking my queen around, although I guess he can do that anyway. But it seemed like his knight on d5 was denying my queen like the e3 square, for example. So if he wanted to attack my queen, I think he should have done it right away in this position. Something like rook f1. Maybe, I remember once I lost a bad game in this type of position. But the knights were all over me like that. Okay, forget about the rook on a8. I've got to find something dynamic here. I could sack an exchange. Absolutely. I'm not concerned about losing an exchange. That's the last thing I'm worried about. But maybe I had other threats. No, not that I can think of. Knight takes a8, queen takes f6 looks okay for black. 2 pawns for the exchange. Very strong. Actually, it's just 1 pawn for the exchange, so I'm lying. Maybe he can really just take my rook on a8 and try to keep it. Distant cousins. Not very distant. Very hard to recognize any straightforward relationship between those two. The bishop in Romanian, I don't know. I mean, I know in Spanish it's alvil. There's a small chance they could be similar, but probably not. So he plays rook there. I really need to check. Unsurprisingly. I guess I could play like bishop g4. That would drop a piece. Never mind. Looks like we're headed for rook b8 then. Okay, move 11 is being a troublemaker. I mean, bishop f5 doesn't look good. I don't have any real counterplay. He's just going after me. Does he have a threat or not? I'm not really sure about. Everything is protected temporarily, but very temporarily. Nebun, meaning the madman. So that means Jolly Joker, the Joker. Right? Is that the same? Thank you guys for supporting the stream today. We had a donation from Dim and Percy Hepworth and Bob Sacamano. Don't forget, guys, you can donate via PayPal to support the stream. Also, and subscribe. And we've had a couple subscriptions. I'm going to try to do the stream every day. Today it's 3:30. We're going to finish around 3:30, 3:40. A little bit early. I usually do 2.5 hour streams, but I've got to go pick something up. So we'll be finishing up in like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. This feels good for white. I feel like all of his pieces are in the game. He just needs a knockout blow here. The last time I played this variation, I got in a lot of trouble in a blitz game. But here I'm not convinced. I don't see it. All I need to do is trade queens, and I should be okay. Famous last words. Looks like maybe move 11 further. He feels he still has pressure. He may be right. But why take with a knight there? I thought he was going to take with a rook. Okay, it's complicated. I could play like knight f5. Material is equal. He's on f7. There's also knight to d6, which is a really, really nasty, nasty move. I don't want any part in that. So, what are we going to do? Bishop f5. Man, I don't like this. Actually, he goes knight d6 anyway. Gotta try to confuse this guy. Down to 18 seconds. Well, b5 can't hurt. I don't see how this can hurt. That's good. We got him off the diagonal. Very huge. He could have played bishop d5 there, but he didn't. There's still knight d6 and knight g5 type of moves. His pieces are still very, very active. He's probably going to kick me out any moment. Get out. Get out of my house. Now, this is getting kind of weird. Permanent residence. Damn. Okay, it's just a blitz game now, unfortunately. Done a good job. He really focused all of his pieces. I think this really helps me. Stupid move. Not the best square. He lost on time. I mean, it's g4. I mean, I shouldn't have allowed that. Move 11 was better the whole game. He was just better the whole game. I mean, I know this is going to freeze my stream, but if I play h5, I'm probably okay. I'm a pawn down, but I have some compensation. But he has g4, which he probably had a move ago as well. So he played a really good game. We could have either lost on time. Alright, good game, man. I thought you wouldn't be well prepared for this variation, but it turns out you were. Morales is a subscriber. I already played chess with Chris. So I'm going to take Morales. Ignis, are you a subscriber? Can we get a confirmation about Ignis? Is Ignis a subscriber to the stream or not? Because if he is, I'll play another game with him. But I think we're going to go soon. Alright, Morales. Morales is tough. Very tough. Move 11 was tough too. He's a good player. I'm going to play e5 just for fun. Though I don't normally play e5, guys. I want to expand my horizons and learn more classical chess. Oh no. The Soltigo Gambit. Oh, you're Ignis, Alex. Okay. I gotta check the time. Let's see. It's like 15 minutes per game, practically. So we'll see how long this game takes. Yeah, pawn takes pawn, or knight takes e4. Knight takes e4, pawn takes pawn. What's up with that? That's a crazy line. So I take here. Yeah, this seems to be the best, just to transpose to the old standard. Looks like rook f1 is better than knight d5, said move 11. You didn't know beyond f5. I didn't even know. I couldn't even remember if f5 was correct or not. Arsenal, knight ce8 happened to me in another game in that line, actually. The idea you're talking about. I remember very clearly. Now, the last time I saw this was my teammate and senior international master, Petran Pal, held a very tough game against a young master in a critical game we needed him to hold with black. Though I think his opponent played it differently than Morales here. What's up with this? Where you didn't move your f-pawn. Now, am I supposed to play bishop c5? I guess we had this before with Morales. c5 is possible. What's the deal with that? I just don't know. Why do I want to play this move? Do we have this before? You didn't see bishop h6, knight g4. Thanks, Alex. But I just appreciate you guys watching. If you can't afford to subscribe now, I mean, it's no problem. I just, the next best thing you can do is just be a regular here and try to be part of the stream. I appreciate it, guys. Not everybody can pay to be a subscriber. Arsenal fan. I'll try to get a game with him if I can. I don't know. I think we had this once before against Morales. But he's not playing really this sort of most common system that you most often see. Bishop b5. Is that a position? No. I have to go here, right? To secure my center. This is not really a common way for this variation to go that I remember. Morales must play something slightly off the beaten track. Knight e2 is a venomous move. Perhaps. Sounds like Arsenal has been to the movies lately. Okay, bishop c6. How is that movie, by the way? Knight e2, bishop c6. I'm not into superhero movies that much. But I noticed there was a review on the BBC about it. I didn't read it. Okay. So guys, I don't know. Maximally, I'll get to play like one last game with Mr. Arsenal fan, 5+3. Chess with Chris, I can't play another game. Bubble chess, Bubble chess. Bubble. I don't know if we're gonna have time. I gotta go to the drugstore. This looks like a very weird Scotch gambit. Yeah, that's what it is. Akiba. It's an unusual variation. Yes, similar to the Alekhines variation. With like d5 and knight c3 and all that, where the knight gets kicked around from e4 to g5. Absolutely. It's getting weirder by the minute now. Knight g3. Where's my knight going? My knight's about to get kicked again. Plus he has the ideas of f4. Plus he has knight f5. h5 is interesting. Let's go with h5. Sudden, like, I was like, oh my god, my knight's hanging. No, it's protected. Now what do we do? h4, knight e4, knight e6. I guess I wanted to play knight e4. My structure's pretty crap after that. What about h4, pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn? Can we do like a long-term pawn sack? The F file looks a little bit bad. Knight e4, I'm doing that with a messed up structure. Guess I wanted to go here. It makes h5 look a little stupid though. I feel like it kind of makes sense. It might stop his pawns from rolling forward. Just playing on intuition, really. Wow. Just has that, huh? All right, I'm coming with that. We got to try to open him up. Took with the king. You had to. What am I talking about? Now his king is just fried. Fried turkey. Not so easy. Queen d7, f5. Then like queen e7. I mean, maybe f5 helps him. Maybe I should have played queen d8 right away. He's certainly playing fast, my god. So much faster. Playing a Catalanish ending. Nils. Yeah, now Morales didn't play f5. I mean, that seems like a very major concession not to do that. The black has some play. Still he has a solid blockade. Seems like my bishops and stuff, I mean, it should be enough to maintain the balance here. Rook g2, good move. I don't really want to trade queens, but I want to mess with him if I can. Try to mess up his coordination. Maybe I have an exchange sack with rook takes f4. I can always castle queenside if I have to. Knight b5 doesn't work. Okay. So, in-game land. Zombie land. I think open files are important. Got active pieces, except for our bishop on. Well, our bishops are kind of debatable, but still they're fairly active. His structure is not great because that isolated pawn there. Want to stop f5. How about my king in the endgame coming up here? Is that a thing? Yeah, I'm looking at like rook d1, trading, bringing my king to e6, and hopefully f5. He has other ideas. Okay. He's very fast. 2070. Got the logical bullet rating. Not playing a lot of bullet, apparently. Now what? Try to keep him busy here. Position looks approximately equal. Sigh. I don't really see how I can make progress here. Okay, rook g5, rook h7, f5. That looks horrible for black. He's a creative player. I agree. I mean, he plays really well. I'm pretty much stuck. This is a standard sort of blockade position. Honestly, I mean, if this was a rated player around my own rating, I mean, I'm completely content with the draw here. I don't know what to do. I think it's equal, truthfully. Because I don't want to allow f5. I mean, f5, I might be able to get away with it if I had started differently. But even there, I'm not sure. Probably I had to play like bishop g7 in the first moment in this position. No, I can't. I think I was just forced to take a draw here. Playing for a win would be like kind of suicide. Okay, rook h7 apparently. I don't like it though. I don't particularly like it. f5, g takes f5, rook takes f5. The computer thinks I'm a tiny bit better. Alright, guys. One last game, I guess. Against Arsenal fan, then I've got to go. Quick game. Good game. Deserved draw. I don't know what's going on in that opening. Okay, Arsenal fan. Play a Sicilian. Precision is overrated. What do we do? Play our accelerated dragon. I should really play the rouser. But Arsenal plays a lot of other stuff. He doesn't always allow the main line. Okay, let's play this. We won't go into the normal CD hyper accelerated. We'll try to play something slightly different. A modern, if you like, with d5. c3, knight c3. We can transpose back into a normal accelerated dragon on knight c3, pawn takes pawn. Okay, this is different. This is a specific line. So CD is main line. I'm played a strange variation here. Takes and knight f6. Sometimes that just transposes. So I guess I need to do something else. This is a variation to keep it out of the normal Marazzi. The normal Marazzi lines. Something a little different. I always found it kind of hard to play, honestly. A little hard to play with white. I won a game against Evita Riley, maybe one of my best games ever in this position. But it changed very much from this standard line. Why not play main line? No, I mean, I like this line. I like this variation. It's a critical test. I think it's important. I would recommend it for black. Because the black side of the normal black side of the accelerated dragon is no fun for black. This is more interesting. It gives white some ways to go wrong. So now, knight c6, knight b5. You could play that and play something crazy like rook b8 if you want to. I guess knight f6 is a move here. There's also e6, obviously. I don't know what the status is of this. It's like a weird... It's basically like a weird Con Sicilian now. Which is played. G6 is played in the Con Sicilian. G6, A6, E6. They do this. Smirin, I've seen other players. Strapunski played it against me. Could go for Marazzi and pretend the knight on d5 doesn't do anything. Well, that's like, what do I do next, though? You know, he's threatening knight b5 after queen d8. He's threatening this. I guess you could do knight a6. It never occurred to me. But I have to make a move, so knight f6 is possible. So d5 now. d5 seems like it should equalize. We achieved the unachievable. The Marazzi, I played d5. I'm equal. Yes. I should theoretically be close to equal after d5. Breaking out against that Marazzi structure. Theoretically. Okay. Proximate equality. But I don't think Arsenal did anything wrong necessarily. I mean, maybe he could have tried something more aggressive with what? Like let's say instead of, I don't know, what could he do? Like knight c2? Try to stop me from physically playing d5? I'm not sure if he can do that. Now knight takes c6, b takes c6. It's about equal. Or c takes d5, knight takes d5, knight takes c6. White might be microscopically better, but it should be about level. But we can look for tricks. Tricks are for kids. A good friend of mine would always say. Cereal commercial. Okay, now tricks. No, there's no knight b4. Now knight queen a4 check definitely wins a piece, Arsenal. That's correct. So I have to take here. The only thing I regret is the move a6, which feels like a very minor loss of time and weakening of my position. That was a good place to castle, says someone. Huh? Am I in trouble here? By the way, if he were to play knight takes d5, I have to take back, and then knight takes d6. No, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, bishop f3. Arsenal. I might be in some serious trouble there. If you just excuse me, take here, queen takes, bishop f3. I hate to say it, but I'm in a very awkward spot there. I think I have to play queen d7, which looks awful. Queen d7. Knight takes c6, b takes c. I'm basically screwed. I think I misplayed this. Now I'm probably just slightly worse. In the other variation, I might be clearly worse. Maybe almost lost. Strange. I mean, it didn't seem like it did anything wrong, except, admittedly, a6. It does have the look of a move that was kind of an unnecessary waste of time in a position where white basically didn't waste any time. So now queen a4, but this is a situation where I might be able to steal the initiative, I would say, for the bishop pair. Do it for the bishop pair. Did I have another option here? I have to get out. I guess I could have played other moves. Knight takes c3 would have been very drawish. He just took back on e3, but I think this is a mistake. I mean, you should play queen takes c6 check, and then... Do I have queen d7? Maybe I have queen d7. Because I was looking only at bishop d7, but maybe queen d7, queen takes a8, knight takes f1, and I'm okay. I'm not sure. We'll have to look after the game, but I kind of like this for black now. I mean, I'm not at all concerned about losing a pawn. I think it's more important that he has weaknesses on the dark squares to compensate, you know. I think it was better that he took with the queen on c6. My dark square bishop is a great attacking piece. Bishop f3. When I go for the base of the face, the base of the pawn chain, it's not really a base, but it is the base of the knight on c3. This pawn is sort of toast. But I don't think that black is winning or anything. I mean, maybe I'm better now. Keep him busy. Two weaknesses. To my, well, this isn't so weak on a6. But the fact of the matter is Arsenal gave up his dark square bishop. That's a big concession. Now, is it enough? Bishop b7. Any queen move. Where does he go? I really don't know what else to do. He has knight d5. It's a little like my game with move 11 now. Yeah. maybe queen g5 is again logical. Not really sure the best place to go. But I'm up a pawn. I can't complain. And do I have rook takes g2 or some kind of trick? I think I was just in big trouble when you played knight takes c6 here. Knight takes d5 just wins. This just wins. Yeah, this just does not work. I didn't think it was this bad, but it's that bad. I'm just like literally lost. Wow. I thought maybe I'll lose a pawn. It wouldn't be that big a deal. Queen d7. This is really bad. I'm just toast here. B takes c. And then bishop c5. This is what I said. Man, I mean, even after you trade queens, look how bad this is. This is total death. Hey y'all, I won the Omaha City Championship 4-0, my first real tournament in 5 or 6 years. You'll be 2009 USCF. Congrats, Zen Chess. I thought you were better than that for sure. But what did I do wrong? Guys, I'm going to close down the stream now. That was the last game for today. Is this just bad for me? There's actually some games here, so it was okay. It's not a great line. It's very risky. But d5 was too much. Okay, so I overstepped my boundaries. I overstepped my boundaries with d5. You just have to play this shaky line. The computer says it's the second best move, though. It's tempting to play d5, but he just castled, though. I think he let me off the hook. I should have just taken here, and I'm okay. Okay, guys, that's it. Congratulations to Zen Chess. Thanks, everybody, for watching, subscribing, and supporting the stream. Tomorrow night, we're going to come back. We're going to do the next stream at 4:30 p.m. So, 4:30 p.m. EDT. It'll be a 5+2 Sparkle Horse Arena Rapid Chess tomorrow night with the Micro and Macro Panda substituting for the normal Panda. Don't forget, sorry. Hello, don't forget, tomorrow night, 5+2 Arena. Alright, the other Panda would do better, alright? Hey guys, so I'm the Macro Panda. I have a deeper voice. We're going to be doing 5+2 Rapid Tournament, 4:30 p.m. EDT tomorrow night. Okay, guys? Bye-bye. See you later, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching and subscribing. It'll be 4:30 p.m. EDT tomorrow. Rapid. Okay? Viewer tournament. I'll see you guys then. Thanks, everybody, for watching and subscribing. Bye-bye.